Insanity now. In this episode of Coffee Insanity, I will be comparing 5 different cooling down systems or methods to cool down your beans roasted in the Behmor. One of them, which is what I've been using, is this one, a little piece of cardboard. Open up the Behmor, turn on the shopvac, and you just wait for it to cool down. I'll be comparing that to just leaving the door closed. I will just leave the door open, and I'll introduce a fan to it. I put a fan and I cracked it open a little bit, so that way I got a fan going right into there to see how that works. And also I will use this method where you just use a box, the cool down box, put it in the shop vac right here. Beans are still inside here, and turn on the shop vac. So let's find out which one works best for you. This is the roast I use to compare all the other methods to cool down your beans with. I used the cardboard shield with the shop vac on this one. The roast development time was 23%. Weight loss was 16.6%. The beans were at 427 degrees when I dropped it, and it took 3 minutes and 42 seconds to get to 150 degrees. This is the roast that I will be comparing all the other methods of cooling your beans to. Time is now 15:45 and the bean temp is 372, A temp 347, and B temp 234. Time is now 16:30, bean temp is 304, A temp is 325, and B temp is 194. Time is now 17 minutes, bean temp 256, A temp is 309, and B temp is 169. Time is now at 18 minutes, and bean temp is 181, the A temp is 284, and B temp 131. The time is now at 19 minutes, and bean temp is 144, A temp is 216, and B temp 129. For cooling the beans with the door open, the roast development time was 23%, weight loss 16%, with 420 degrees to 150 degrees took 3 minutes and 40 seconds. It is the same as the cardboard wall and shop vac roast. The time is at 15 minutes 30 seconds, and bean temp is at 420. A temp 352, B temp 262. Time is now 16 minutes, bean temp 366, A temp 334, and B temp 230. The time is now at 16 minutes and 40 seconds, bean temp 308, A temp 309, B temp 201. The time is now at 17 minutes, bean temp 266, A temp 297, B temp 178. The time is now at 18 minutes, bean temp 186, A temp 270, B temp 140. This is for cooling the beans with the cardboard and the fan and shop vac. The roast development time 25%, weight loss 16.5%, 430 degrees to 150 degrees took 3 minutes and 36 seconds. It is the same as the first 2 methods. You can see a big difference with this one. Already at the 200 mark Fahrenheit, there's already like a minute or more difference between the two. And it is a little bit cooler tonight, but not that much of a difference, as you can see. Using the box and shop vac to cool the beans produced a RDT of 23%, weight loss 16.9%, 430 degrees to 150 degrees took only 2 minutes. This method cools the beans about 1 minute and 30 seconds faster. The time is 15:30, bean temp 417, A temp 360, B temp 261. The time is at 16 minutes, bean temp 400, A temp 352, B temp 250. The time now is 17 minutes, bean temp 348, A temp 325, bean temp 221. Time is now 18 minutes, bean temp 300. A temp 302, B temp 196. The time is now at 19 minutes, bean temp 252, A temp 244, B temp 174. And the time is 20 minutes, bean temp 209, A temp 185, B temp 153. The time is now 21 minutes, bean temp 173, A temp 147, B temp 133. Time is now at 22 minutes, bean temp 151, A temp 129, B temp 129. The roast development time was 25%, weight loss 17.1%, 422 degrees to 150 degrees took 6 minutes and 42 seconds, about 3 minutes slower. Summary. The cardboard wall and shop vac was 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Door open, 3 minutes 40 seconds. Cardboard, shop vac, and the fan was 3 minutes 40 seconds. The box and the shop vac was 2 minutes, and the door closed was 6 minutes and 42 seconds. Alright, let's take a look at the beans, see what the color, see if you can tell any differences. The first three are the 3 minutes and 40 seconds it took to cool down. The fourth one is 2 minutes to cool down, and the fifth one is 7 minutes to cool down. So let's take a look at the 2 minute versus 7 minute cool down time. You really can't tell any difference in the color of the beans or when you grind it. They both looked exactly the same. I thought the 2 minute one might be a little bit lighter compared to the 7 minute one, but I could not tell the difference. Alright, let's go over our results for our cooling methods. Let's talk about with the door closed the entire time. It took 6 minutes and 42 seconds. That's a long time to cool your beans. I tasted it. This is a Guatemala chichen. It has a milk chocolate and lavender and like some caramel. I tasted more of a bitter, like dark chocolate. If you think of a chocolate bar, compare like maybe 90%. It had a lot of bitter to it. I couldn't taste any lavender, not so much caramel. It wasn't very good. Let's talk about the other three. The one where we used the cardboard shield in the shop vac. The one where we had the door just completely open. And the one where we used a fan that was blowing in there while the cardboard shield at the same time where we cracked it. All three were pretty much the same. About 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, I was actually pretty surprised. I thought this cardboard on right here with the shop vac, I thought this would be, pretty significant with the shop vac sucking all the air out, but it wasn't. It was the exact same with just the door open. So from now on, I'm not going to even bother using this. And sorry, Sam, for your hose that got burnt, and anyone else that burned a vacuum doing it this way. All you have to do is just leave your door open. It's the exact same. It's going to be messy with the chaff coming out. So maybe if you use your chaff tray, it might stop some of that from coming out. I just haven't used mine in forever. Might have to try using it. But all three methods were the same. So let's talk about the important parts. So how did it taste? It tasted not bad. More balanced for sure. Maybe some lavender, not quite sure. Definitely sweeter, maybe like 50% like the bitterness or dark chocolate, if you think of like a candy bar. So it wasn't too bad. It was a pretty enjoyable cup of coffee. Now let's talk about the fastest method, where we used the box and the shop vac, where we just put it on top and shop vac. This only took about 2 minutes. It's very fast. The taste, I thought it had a little bit more bitterness to it actually. Thought maybe like 60% of the dark chocolate. You could taste the lavender for sure. And the caramel didn't seem quite as pronounced, but still pretty balanced, pretty good. But definitely the lavender. So the faster you cool down your beans, it seems like, the more of the notes that you're gonna get. Those notes are gonna come out in the cup of coffee a lot stronger. So either from now on, I'm going to use this method, or if I'm lazy, I'm just going to throw open the door and just let my beans cool. It's a lot easier that way. Don't even have to deal with the shop vac. Use the shop vac at the very end, or just be cleaning up as the chaff comes out.
So I hope this video has helped you determine what method you would like to use when roasting with the Behmor to cool down your beans. For me, I prefer just the door open, or go ahead, throw it in the box, cool it down nice and fast. But the main thing is, you really want to be just consistent in whatever method you use, and always use that method. If you're going to use the Behmor and leave the door closed, you really need to plan ahead and stop your roast about a minute, maybe even more. It's just continuing to cook your beans for a long time after you hit cool. Over 7 minutes, or 7 minutes is a pretty long time to have your beans cool down to 150 degrees. I'd like to give a shout out to Alita. Thank you, Alita, for getting probably over half of my subscriptions. And for all you users of the Behmor, keep on roasting and drinking that delicious coffee. If you've liked this video, please make sure to subscribe and hit the like button.